Okay, here's a graph that kind of indicates what our solutions are going to be. This was the original equation, set equal to 0. So if we graph that as a function and ask the question, when does that function cross the x-axis? The answer is that's where it will equal 0, the y value. Pi over 2, 7 pi over 6, 11 pi over 6. Question is, how do you do that algebraically? How do you solve this equation algebraically? The idea is going to be, well, you see sine squared and sine, so it might be a good idea to get rid of this cosine squared. And since sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1, cosine squared is 1 minus sine squared, which is what I show right here. Okay. And now if I combine the similar terms, the minus sine squared and the minus sine squared combined to minus 2 sine squared, that looks like a quadratic equation. And if I multiply every term by -1 so that the leading coefficient is positive, which is what I like to do, and write it in descending order, standard form, this is what you get. And this quadratic equation in terms of sine of x factors into the product of two binomials. 2 sine x plus 1 times the sine of x minus 1 equals 0 by the zero product property. One of these factors has to equal 0. So either this one equals 0 or this one equals 0. So we're going to solve each of these equations individually, which I've done over here. 2 sine of x plus 1 equals 0, and 2 sine of x equals -1. Sine of x equals -1/2. So x equals the inverse sine of -1/2. That is, x is the angle that has a sine of -1/2. And in the interval from 0 to 2 pi, there's two of those angles. We can solve this without the use of a calculator because this 1/2 is one of the special angles that you can find the trig functions for without a calculator. We know that reference angles that have a value of pi over 6 or 30 degrees have a sine of 1/2, and sine is negative in the third and fourth quadrants, and that's because the y values are negative. Hypotenuse is 2. Of course, this other leg is radical 3, side opposite the 60-degree angle. Okay, so this angle right here is pi over 6 plus pi, which is 7 pi over 6. This angle is 2 pi, take away pi over 6, which is 11 pi over 6. So there's two of your answers. And this other equation, sine of x minus 1 equals 0, gives us sine of x equals 1. So x is the angle that has a sine of 1. And the interval from 0 to 2 pi, there's only one such angle. And that's pi over 2, as we're on the unit circle. And this is where the y value is 1 at pi over 2. Okay, there you go. Hope that helped. If you have any questions, post a comment.